On Wednesday, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics said that the country's consumer price index rose 8.3% on a yearly basis in April, down slightly from March, but still way above market expectations. U.S. President Joe Biden told the nation that taming inflation will be his topmost domestic priority. Why does it matter? Analysts say that will probably be the biggest challenge for the Biden administration ahead of the midterm elections. However, instead of confronting the problem and fixing responsibility, the White House has chosen to play a blame game to hide its own failures. To start with, Biden continues to blame Russian President Vladimir Putin for the surging inflation and tries to brand it as a Putin's price hike. But the truth is, inflationary pressures have been building up long before the Russian military action in Ukraine. Larry Summers, a leading U.S. economist, had warned on several occasions that excessive U.S. government spending would trigger inflation, citing the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief bill that Biden signed into law last March as an example. But rather than pay heed, the Biden administration chose to brush it under the mat and falsely claim the inflationary pressure as transitory for most of the past year. The U.S. president also blamed ultra-MAGA Republicans for blocking his Build Back Better plan, which he claimed would lower prices. But the fact is, not only Republicans, but also Joe Manchin, a Democratic senator who effectively killed Biden's ambitious spending agenda in December, believe the president's proposals will increase inflation. Amid all this, the one thing that Biden chose not to do was to remove the tariffs on Chinese imports, a measure that would have certainly helped bring down the inflation. Former Council of Economic Advisors Chair Jason Furman, an economics professor at Harvard University, says removing the China tariffs is the single largest policy lever necessary to bring down inflation. Several studies pointed out that it is the American consumers who are actually suffering due to the extra tariffs on Chinese goods. A recent study by the Peterson Institute for International Economics says Americans, not Chinese exporters, are paying the tariffs. It said eliminating the excess tariffs corresponds to a 0.3 percentage point reduction in CPI inflation directly through lower import prices. Several U.S. business groups, including the U.S.-China Business Council, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Business Roundtable, and other trade groups sent a letter to the Biden administration last November that tariffs on China are hurting U.S. companies and families. They urged Biden to remove the harmful Section 301 tariffs, noting U.S. importers have paid nearly $110 billion as tariffs since they were imposed by former President Donald Trump. While background discussions are going on about the removal of U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods, it is time for Biden to stand tall and remove the duties forthwith before they leave deeper scars on the fledgling U.S. economy.